Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to get this into the state that you guys want to get it into. Okay, so I'm gonna reset mine up to the full view here, where we can see the. Okay. Right, that's the trick, right? Okay, so I made some changes to it last time, and we'll go ahead and see how we're going to make changes that are going to work for you guys. So the first thing you might want to do, like, let's start at the top and say we want to change this logo graphic, right? So if we click on the logo graphic, and now I'm going to split this, right? If you click on the logo graphic on the right-hand side, it will highlight the code in the left-hand side that is appropriate for that logo graphic, right?
You're on boilerplate for that, right?
What's that?
You're on boilerplate.
No, I'm just on the index page.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm on the index page, and I click on the logo over there, and over here it highlights the code. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Question?
So maybe this is a dumb question, but you know how like the text is the logo,
Yeah.
and then with mine I had a pink background.
Right.
Should I have put that pink background behind my text and in the actual JPEG?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
you're-
what I did wrong.
Yeah, right.
I didn't do that either.
Okay.
I
So
was thinking, how am I supposed to change the background of the white part?
Yeah,
there? But
that's
you can't. It just
me
needs
too.
to come
Right.
from Photoshop. All
right. So we need to make that distinction. So the first thing you see is by clicking on an item over there, it highlights the code over here and shows you where it is, right, in the code. And secondly, if it's something like an image, it shows you where it is in the folder, okay? So this one is inside of the folder called images, and it's called biglogo.jpg, all right? Now, so let's say I want to make a change to that. I want to change it so that it looks like the image that I made in my mockup, right? Well, I can go into my folder. Okay, mine happens to be called sample2. I think yours is just called sample. But inside images, I find a file called biglogo.jpg, right? And that's the one that's being brought up. Now, if I take that and I open it in Photoshop, good night, Jonathan. Then here is my image, right? Now, since this is just a set image, I need to put in whatever graphics I want here, and I need to put whatever background color I want that part of the page to have, right? So what I could do is let's do it pink by now. I could select all, I could click my color here, I could select some shade of pink, and I could do Option Delete, and now that's pink. Now I can take my text box and say, you know, my new logo, and of course it's still pink, but I'll make it white. Okay, and so now I make all the changes I want to my header, right? Now I simply save it with the same name. I just save it over the existing file, because that way it'll get brought in because the code's already there, okay? So I just go simply File, Save, right? And then it goes into this, and I click on biglogo.jpg, and I hit Save. And now when I go back to Dreamweaver and preview this page, hopefully, if it works. Okay, it never works. Let's see, how about in Chrome? Come on. Okay. It should update it. Let me just make sure that that I'm in the right folder. Let's see, File, Save As. I want to make sure I didn't drag it to my desktop. Sample2, which is in Downloads. Okay. Let me resave it. Oh, this is the problem. I apologize. I saved it as a PSD, right? So it didn't save over. So if I save it as a JPEG and hit save and say replace, then if I go into Dreamweaver again, see how it's changed now? Okay. All right. So that's how you change the header, right? Okay. Now, if you want to change, like say, for example, this background color,
Which background?
this green background, in other words, the background color of the whole page.
That I figured out.
Okay, so that,
The only thing I haven't figured out is what's behind the Latin.
The background color on the bottom.
the background of the body.
Yeah.
Container
Okay.
back.
Yes.
color.
You mean you want to change that color? Okay, all right.
The yellow.
So, all right, so we want to change the yellow background color. So let's figure out where that is. Well, this yellow background color, this is a div in here, and where you would go for that is you would go to style.css, and let me see. Okay, and then let me see if this is the correct, I believe this is the correct place to change it. Yeah. So where you want to go is on style.css, you want to come down to approximately line 72, 73. You're looking for a style called body 1. Now it's got background, and then it's got a 3, it's got like FF9. If you want to change this, just delete the FF9 and the pound symbol, okay? And then you should have a flashing cursor right after your colon. Now hit spacebar, and it brings up the code hints. Double click on color, and then select whatever color you want. Or if you want to get even more adventurous than these colors, click on the little round circle. Do you see this little? Oh, you guys have it different on a PC. Let me see yours. Double click on color. Oh yeah. You guys can mix your own colors, right? Yeah. Mix your own color. If you're on a Macintosh, you have to click on this little round circle, and then you can mix your own color in this area here.
Delete everything with the pound sign.
Yeah, you delete everything with including the pound sign, and then you make sure you're right after the colon, and then hit your space bar. Now double click on color, and now move that up and move these, and you can mix a color. Move this up, and then you can also click RGBA. Click that, and let's see. You could click this eyedropper, and you can click on a selection here, and it'll put that color in.
I think I want white.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you want white. Okay. So then you just hit it. And it puts white in. All right. So, okay. Question? Yes.
Is body 2 the other one?
Body 2 is not being used right now.
Okay.
The bottom one. Do you mean?
No, the back, okay, so you've got a back
Hi,
to
John.
it. This part,
Right. You mean the green part?
this.
Okay.
yeah.
That's just the background. That's the general background. Now that I believe
It's body 2 then. It's
body
not-
2 isn't being used at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I believe that might be on boilerplate. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to have to open up my code window here just fully so I can scroll up to the top and see. Yeah, here it is. On boilerplate on around line 41, there's some code here which is called background. And it's this number right here. So, for example, if I change that to black, which is 000, and then we go back and look at our page, it changes
Yeah.
to black. Okay.
And you had already changed to that other.
Yeah, I already changed the
Color.
middle area, which is on style.css. That's called the body 1 right here, right? Now, obviously, you can put whatever image content you want in there and whatever text. You have to make sure that your image has a float on it if you want the text to wrap around it. So, for example, if I click on the kitty here and go back to the code window, you'll see that I hand typed in a float and I did this last week, style equals float, colon left, semicolon, margin dash right, 15 pixels, right? And that is what's going to make your kitty float either to the left, or if you want to change that to right, he'll float to the right, and then you would change this to margin left. And so your image will either sit there or on the other side, and the text will float around it.
Can I see that code again?
Sure, absolutely. It's this piece of code right here. Okay, now you can change your menu items right here, whatever the things are you want them to say. Remember, there's two menus here. There's one which is the hamburger, and these are the choices that will come up when the hamburger is open, and these are the choices that will come up when you're just looking at the tablet or the screen view like this, the desktop view, right? Now, the responsive-nav.css is where you can change things like the background color of the menus. And let's see. Let me see if I can change it right here. I'll cut this out and change this to black, which is always a good color. Okay. Oops. Somehow I changed that to some bizarre weird color. Okay, let's put in 0, 0. And let's go to the, let's see if what I actually changed there.
You changed the back.
Oh, I changed, see, that changes the background of the hamburger menu, right? So this is on responsive-nav.css, down here around line 31. This is the background color that changes the background of the hamburger menu. Okay.
Pieces on the side, yeah, so it's running down the side, right? Not down the center.
It's changing,
Side pieces, yeah, side pieces. Okay.
this changed all this stuff right here. The actual backgrounds of the menu.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the side.
Yeah. And then let me go back to the desktop version where we have this red color here. And let me bring this up in a browser. And now I'm going to use my Chrome tools, developer tools, click on this magnifying glass and click over this. Remember, this is the one that's hard to find the background color for this bad boy. Let's see, so div ID big menu. Okay, so let's see where big menu is in our fancy world of things here. So if I do a Command F and look for big menu and search the source code of all open documents and do find all, let's see, I get big menu in my source code class fluid. That's not really very helpful. Let's look on our style sheet here. Here's big menu. I'll see you later.
That's right above the body.
Yeah, so it's on the actual actual HTML source code. Why am I seeing style.css footer? Yeah, it's on the actual source code, and where it is if we go all the way down to the code at the very bottom of the source code. I apologize. It's actually on the style.css file. Okay, if we go all the way down to the bottom of the style.css file, we've got a big menu style, and then below that we've got something called menu item, and each individual menu item has a color attached to it. In this case, I've colored them red. Okay, So this is where you're going to change the background color of these bad boys. So I'll change this to blue, and we'll see it change over here, and now we know where that one is, right? So we're just kind of slowly going through all the different sections of this template and showing you where to make the edits. You end up with a slightly different color back there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, that has a section assigned to it too.
Oh, okay, so this is like a little fine point, so I can at least.
Right, yeah, that's a little fine
Where
point.
do I
So
find them?
if I go back to, so watch, if we go back to our website here and we grab it and we scrunch it over until it becomes the menu drop down, right? It looks like I've got black back there, and it may be, is it the background color of your page that's showing through? Or here?
No, this is the original color that we had.
Oh, that's that purple?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, preview in Firefox. Okay, so we make this smaller, and then we open this up. So you're seeing this purple color
Yeah.
back here.
Well,
Okay.
actually kind of
Maybe I should just leave.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you have questions, I'll be with you in just a sec, okay?
It doesn't look
Bad,
bad, but-
Okay, so what I have to do is I have to find that section. So what I'll do is,
So we have to go to Chrome.
well, yeah, I'm going to go to Chrome and I'm going to click on this magnifying glass and I'm going to try and isolate what that div is. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to this view here. And I want to change my background menu items so they're not black so I can easily see. I'll make these red. Okay, so I can easily see what this background color is and how it shifts. So then I'm going to go to boilerplate CSS. Well, all I'm doing right now is I'm changing colors so it'll be easy for me to figure out what color it is I'm trying to focus in on. So now I'm going to make the background of my entire website green, and now I'm going to go look at the website again. Okay, so this helps me out. So if you look up on the screen there, you see that I've made the very background of my website green. I've made the background of my hamburger menu red, and now I still see that there's a black area in there, right? Now that makes it easy for me because I can just search for that black area. I can search for anything that has a background of black. So I do Command F and I say background $:000. I search inside my source code of open documents and I do find all, right? And so let's see what it shows me here. It looks like it's on responsive nav, right? So I double click on it, and it looks like I put it in multiple places. There's at least 3 places here. Yeah. So in responsive nav, there's 3 places where you set the background color of that section. One is called nav collapse, one is called nav collapse list item, and one is called js.nav collapse, right? And you see the background is $000 in all of them. So let me make this, I'm just going to type the word yellow in here for all 3 of them so that we can quickly and easily change that and see what the change looks like. Okay, and there it is. Now it's changed to yellow. Okay, so granted, this is a complex template. It's hard to find things, right? It's hard to figure out where to go. It's confusing, but part of what we're trying to learn is how to hunt these elements down and then modify them, right? So I'm recording this on the video that I'll put up tonight, and then you guys can go through this video as well as the one last week if that's helpful for you for making the changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's got a padding there. Can we dump the padding? Or do we have
Padding,
to keep-
you
That yellow looks like a padding of some kind.
let me see. Well, it could be deceptive.
Or is that gonna be?
Well, I think it's deceptive because watch, when we preview this in Google Chrome, okay, what I think it is, yeah, I think it's let's go back and look at these individual list item things. So that's 100%. Yeah, I would probably have to really search around to find exactly where that is. But what I would tell you is, that's a great challenge for you, is look through here and see if you can find where either padding or margin has been added to that area and see if you can take it out, you know. If not, you can just make it the same color
And it's
as
the
this,
back of it, and it would look the same.
and then it would look the same. Yeah, exactly, and that would be the easy way to do
That
it.
would be-
Yeah. Okay, other sort of general questions about this template? Yes, Mariah.
It's like on there, take there on the screen, but like, what is this pattern on like Laser Little website?
Okay, and you're only seeing that in Dreamweaver, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you are actually.
Okay.
And what that is that's called a grid. Okay, and what it is I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but if you look in your style sheets, style.css, and you go very up to the very top, and you scroll down just a little bit, right here, about line 52, you see the thing that's called grid container? Okay, so what it is this website is set up on a grid that looks like this. And the reason it's set up on a grid is because it makes it easy. If you wanted to design using this grid, you could, for example, let's say each of these columns was 10% of the width, right? Well, you could just look at your grid and say, I want this div to be 30%, and I want this div to be 10%, and let's say this one is going to be 60% or something like that, right? This combination here. So now you've got your full 100%, and it's almost like if you were using Adobe InDesign, right, and laying out a magazine or something. Okay. Other general questions about this template? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right here. We're going to do